Already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, segregation, revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show.
Ooh, that's it.
All right. Well, that was interesting. To be honest with you. Didn't want to start this late. Tried a couple trouble things. Let me put on the jammy. Shout outs to John Watson in the chat. Give a shout outs to Sports for You podcast. Give them a check out. Sports for You podcast. Welcome to the show live at 5. Let's get some lighting situation going on. Get situated. Got a good show. Is that too bright? We hit the 1080p, guys. We're in the 1080p mark. So good looking. That means we're
winning. You see what's going on. So whatever you can do to help financially would be fantastic.
We hit the 1080p. So we're shining a bit much. A bit shine. A little bit gloss. Maybe we don't need all the gloss. We're not adjusting. That was just pretending. I was pretending. Welcome to the show. Live at 5. The only show that starts at 7 o'clock. Promises 6 o'clock. Hit or miss. Tonight's show, as you can see in the background, I'm a dip. Integration, segregation, revelation. Easy peasy stuff. What does that mean? What are we talking about? Where's the button? Hit the ringer. Hit the ringers. That's what we're here for. Hold on. We'll get it. We'll get it all like sync like this. Clockwork. For now, we're going to look around. We're going to look around. We'll get it. But didn't find it. Again, late starts. Didn't want to start like this. I had this whole thing planned. I was going to do a bit. Forget it. I'm just going to jump into it because I'm already late. 7:40. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about integration, segregation, revelations, live at 5. Okay. Now, before I got into this, I brought this up several times as far as segregation was concerned. I just wanted to be able to pick and choose which Caucasians I get to hang out with. I don't like them all. You know who you are. I want to be able to pick. I don't like the cops. They gotta go. They gotta go back. Go back to Cricket Town. Go back to where you guys come from. I don't want them. They made me put on the Nope voice. No, the Get Out voice. I don't want to see you. I'll get into that while I'm doing that voice. Got a lot to cover today. But welcome to the show. And if you're a first timer, it always starts around after 5 o'clock. The live at 5 is a joke. It's always will be a joke. I'm the only one laughing.
They're so excited for you to be a part of this experience, the fans. So you want to leave?
One of the reasons why I wanted to bring up if we need integration or not. A lot of things have happened. Unnecessary roughness, obviously from the top. From the top. For years and years and years. But I'm just talking about current events. Not old man grinding gear stuff. We're not doing that. We're doing cardigans. We're doing Wednesday. It's going to be a little slower today. You know, it's not like a Thursday show. It's not a Friday show. It's not even a Saturday show. It's a Wednesday show. We're just doing facts. Get in, get out. It's not going to be a long one. So after the, I want to start somewhere as far as like origin, why I'm doing this. And then we'll get into the stuff that made me upset. Hopefully you felt something about it, because I can't put a finger on it. I can't put a finger on it, what it is, but it's a lot of stuff going on. So we'll get into it. So look, my main man, K. Dot, slaughtered the Super Bowl, did his thing. Everything was fine for me. I don't mind people making fun of the bell bottoms, people doing all the bullshit, all the misinterpretations. No one's getting the message. That's fine with me. I don't care about that. I'm minding my own business with our Negroes too. Shout out to our Negroes too. All of a sudden, Will Ferrell gets his white ass on television and he starts doing, again, I just want to say, why are all of my favorites out the blue doing the weirdest shit? Will Ferrell, dear Will Ferrell, I watched all your movies. I corrected someone when they called you Will Ferrell. I'm a fan. I understand sports is for everybody, but that specific, it was very specific. He said us. He meant black people. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows, if you listen to the entire song, not just the pedophile part that you guys are excited about for some reason. For some reason, that's the part that gets you guys. That's not it. That's not it. That's the bad part, right? That's the part that we're talking about crimes being committed. We're talking about children being touched. That's not the bop. That part wasn't the part that we danced to. I mean, we caught the layup. We caught it. We said, "Oh, that's hilarious." Then we started looking at the videos. We saw Drake, telling 17-year-olds they're baddies. 17-year-olds, you're baddie. Like how you get that body. I mean, that's facts. That's not like made up. It wasn't dubbed. But I mean, if you don't believe me, you can check it on TikTok.
I strongly believe that TikTok is a ticking bomb.
You can check it out on your own. I'm not playing Drake. Not on this channel. This is live at 5. The only show that starts at 7 o'clock. Sometimes 6:30. It depends. Wednesdays are rough. By the way, guys, welcome. We are now live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram simultaneously. So get it how you live. You can't catch it here, go over there. You can't catch it over there, you know how to move. You know how to move. You know how to move.
She was like, what?
Shout out to APROCKY. Freed the man. They freed the man. Shouts to him.
She was like, what? Yeah, we ran him right back though, didn't we?
Shout outs to ASAP. They freed the man. He brought the kids to trial. He did what he had to do. But they freed the man. Outrageous charges off the bat. We all know that. Let's be real. But we don't have to. We'll get into that later. All right. Integration, segregation, revelation. The whole point is that people are having these newfound revelations about if we ever needed to be together at all. I'm a firm believer that there's a good chance Tulsa happened for a reason. They were scared that we were going to be able to carry on without you. Unfortunately. Sports, movies, music. We don't need you. I know a lot of engineers are white, but we could have got it. You know what I mean? You jumped in there, you took the spot. You know who I'm talking to. Or you white engineers making all the Kanye beats, and you got these Jews making beats, all the Jay-Z's album and all this stuff. If there was no choice, they would pick black people, but you guys jump in there and you make jewelry for them and you make beats for them and you take our spots and etc. But if you weren't around, they wouldn't have a choice but to put the money back into the community, which is the whole point. That's the whole point. It's supposed to recycle. Can't recycle if you keep giving the money away. That's not how that works. That's something that
I don't need.
So yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. I went back. I was saying, why are my 90s actors just flipping out? They're flipping out. You got Adam Sandler up there acting like he's not a mess. Acting like he's ever put black people in his movies. He's a clown. I don't like the way he dresses. He's obsessed with basketball. He'll never make the team. He plays basketball like Paul Simon now. Shout outs to Bailey. Just saw Bailey from wrestling. She shot better Jays than Adam Sandler. But that's neither here or there. The main point, what I'm trying to get at is like, you guys are bored or what? I don't know what you're doing. But, you know, Will Ferrell came out during the 50th SNL, get together that they had, and no one asked him. And I know I've been watching that show for years, and I was like, I know they sit around and they think about the jokes, and they all they probably brainstorm and they try to make it as funny as possible. But for some reason, this slipped through the cracks. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, and then I'm gonna break it down, I guess, and then I'll get into the reason why this show is happening. So I'm gonna play a little bit, and then we'll get into back into it.
They want to get your hand-me-down. The party playing nose down. What a weird player here around. Certified lover, certified pedophile.
Again, the point of that part of the song is to call out someone accused of pedophilia. That's not the bop. The bop is not the part where he yells out pedophile. The bop is the beat. It's mustard. It's the whole thing. It's the whole message. It's the blackness of it. It's Compton. It's the whole thing. It has nothing to do mainly about that part, but I understand the importance of that part, calling out crimes committed to children. Granted, but that's not the main purpose of the song. So what a lot of these people were doing, Caucasians, crackers, whatever you call them, they were just taking that part of the song and making that the main focus. I said to our Negroes too this morning, I said, it's funny because a lot of people haven't listened to the rest of the album. Not the crackers. They played that, bought the single. They're not mentioning any of the other songs. Not all, but some. You could play one of the songs off the album, you'll never know. They won't even know what you're talking about. That's a problem. that whole entire album, like the rest of Kendrick Lamar album, have been dedicated to Black people and Black movement. If you are not a participant in that, I don't know, don't dabble, because you're giving us a perception like you're into Kendrick Lamar, but no, you're just into songs about pedophilia. I don't care about that.
Did that make you feel a certain way?
I don't need half participants. That's the whole point. The reason why you guys wanted integration was to steal, I think. You just wanted to borrow our stuff without, like, the new stuff, not the stuff that you already took from us when we didn't have a choice, when we couldn't do anything about it, because by law you were in charge. But now that you're in charge still, you want to dabble in our things. Take them, borrow them, reuse them without paying us for it. Again, it's frustrating. Why couldn't you have just watched the Super Bowl and just left it alone, Will Ferrell? And the rest of you on these TikTok videos showing white grandma singing. I don't care about that. That same grandma probably called the cops on the mailman or whatever, or some fucking Amazon driver. Like, don't manipulate sports and reality. You were there for the sport. That's it. And you got a song out of it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. But let's get back. That's my gears, man. This gets me all worked up. I'm like, Will Ferrell, what are you doing? All right, let's start it over. Jeez.
They want to get your hand-me-down. Everybody at the party playing those sound. What a weird player here around. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Pop, 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 fuck 'em. Pop, 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 pop. I'm gonna do myself. Play it through like a bitch, change your tie and try and suck a corner, and it's probably a minor. A minor. A minor. A minor.
Did you laugh? Because I thought I heard something. Did you laugh? I thought no? I didn't. Did you? Because they extended it. So maybe it got funnier at the ending. Let me know if you laughed in the chat. Let me know if you laughed in the chat. Because I did not. Not once.
You know what's funny?
There's a lot of pedophiles in that same audience. There's a shot of certain people taking photos of other people laughing at that joke. It's funny because we made a joke about how many pedophiles were in that audience, and then I saw the host, I forget her name, Leslie, the big one, the big woman from SNL. She's in the audience and she's taking photos of people like just going with it, and that's probably the people who are alleged, most likely. A lot of people are not laughing. David Spade, not laughing. David Spade is like, what happened with you? Most of the 90s stars aren't laughing. It's not funny. Most people born in the 90s weren't laughing. Old people were laughing. They already got away with it. I would chuckle if I was clear. They didn't even study the lyrics. He just ran through the song to get to the pedophile part. That's the shit I'm talking about. I don't have any white music that I rush to play to prove a point or to make a joke. That's their classics. They take our classics and they make them into like unfunny jokes. They're not even funny. It's not even funny. These are funny people. This is SNL. This show's about comedy. They sat down and wrote that one. I wouldn't have wrote that joke. It's none of my business. But yeah, that's the reason why this is happening. I feel like that is a moment of segregation. Could have used you to separate, could have chose a better way to present that joke. Why not have black people on stage reacting the entire performance halfway? The half of it, the important parts, just the black ones. Could have had some of the black ones reenacting Serena Williams. Could have had actually Serena Williams there. Just funny stuff. No, you took two old white Jews. That's what you said. You thought that was going to be opener and closer. Nobody laughed. The wrong people laughed. Martin Scorsese laughed. Woody Allen probably laughed. He probably thought that was funny. All right. Welcome to Live at 5, the only show that starts well after goddamn 5 o'clock. It's already at 8. We're getting there. I just wanted to express, I guess, one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring this up. Now, last night, maybe last night, the other night, me and our Negros too, we checked out a film by Cicely Tyson called The Autobiography of Mrs. Jane Pittman, which I just found out is a classic, and people call it a classic. They call it awesome, which is like a disservice. I don't think that any slave movie should be called awesome. Any movie about the Civil War or slavery should be awesome. There's nothing awesome about that. What's awesome is that they keep getting away with it. That's awesome. Like, the law works sometimes. That's pretty awesome. But as far as slavery and waiting for them to tell us that we could do whatever we want, that's not there's nothing awesome about that. But shout outs to Cicely Tyson, rest in peace. In that movie, not a big fan of what they was doing with this. They had a lot going on with her face. They did a lot of the work. She says the time, and I agree. 70s, probably everybody was doing goddamn whatever Steven Spielberg was telling him to do. I don't know. Whatever he was telling him to do. He's the one that had all the puppets and all this dry skin or whatever. But they made it look crazy. They made it look like E.T. pretty much. But she was supposed to be 114 years old. And basically it's just about the Civil War, about freedom. As soon as Abraham hit that joint, he was like, everybody gotta go home. Everybody gets to go home. Fair enough. I mean, it's in a nutshell, but check it out on your own. It's called The Autobiography of Mrs. Jane Pittman. You've probably already seen it. But if not, check it out. It's a good movie, but the makeup is terrible. But the message, solidarity, as far as the black people stuck together, in spite of the white man and his ways, wicked ways. And again, the trickery, the backseats. You free, you're not free. You're free, you're not free. You know. Oh, you nasty. Just mean stuff. So neither here or there, right? They're trying to get their shit together, let them go free, yada yada, right? One of the things I wanted to get from that was just like, well, what became of the Civil War? Like, to me, I feel like the Civil War was probably, I called it a wasteful war. She was like, you can't do that, because clearly things got accomplished. And I agree. Freedom got accomplished. But I went into to check out just a few things to see some other POVs. Well, first off, shout outs to black women.
The African American woman is the backbone of the black family, really of the whole American family. I mean, who wasn't raised by a black woman? I know I was. You know what? I'm getting a...
Shout outs to black women. Shout outs to Cicely Tyson. Rest in peace. No shout outs to that man who did that to her face. And her buddy's face. Everybody's skin was crazy. there's a thing called the lost cause. So the lost cause is a set of beliefs that it emerged in the South after the Civil War, and it was basically trying to minimize the whatever happened in slavery. So they tried to make it seem as if it wasn't that bad. You can Google it yourself. It's called the Lost Cause. They were saying that the Civil War was a lost cause because they said we weren't doing that bad. We weren't being that mean to the slaves. It's oversaturated. It's over, and they said it was our imaginations that were making it seem like it was worse than it was. They said it was a benevolent institution, slavery. It wasn't like so much what we were calling it. It was a benevolent institution, and it says that the Confederacy was just, they were patriots. People who we just loved that country a lot. You're putting too much emphasis on it. And we were just brave soldiers trying to just make our money and stop hating on Robert E. Lee, shit like that. So that was what they were kicking after the Civil War. Me, this sounds like sore losers. They came up with a thing. So it kind of makes me feel like my thoughts of the war being a waste is kind of siding with the South, which I would never do. So it kind of made me want to take it back. But they made themselves seem like they were peaceful, idyllic society, and they felt like anyone trying to change their ways, as far as like reconstruct the South, like he was trying to do, was just purely trying to erase Southern heritage, which of course isn't true, because to this day they still hang people and do whatever the fuck they want to do. But they called it Northern oppression. That's the craziness of the cracker. The craziness of the cracker, they take real life trauma that they've opposed on other people, hence the word oppression, and they put it on themselves. They say, I'm the one being oppressed. Why are you doing this to me? Look what they're doing to me. They're taking away my slaves because I love the country. I didn't make it like this. I didn't do this. Does that sound familiar to you? Sounds familiar to me. I'm not paying no reparations. I didn't do that. That didn't even happen to you. That happened to your whatever. I'm not doing that. I didn't do nothing. They was kicking that since the Civil War. They were kicking. Now we're talking about slave owners who lost their slaves, kicking that they didn't do nothing wrong. This is immediate lying, like just fresh out a slave's ain't nobody making no more collard greens. The wife's getting beat up again. She had a break. No more break. Back to the kitchen. Come on, back. They didn't even. Where's the book? Where's the female book? After slavery, shit got real bad. I want to, because that's what it was. Don't lie. They have this antebellum Southern charm that they try to present about the South that does not exist. I've never lived there, but I cannot deal with people who have not even let go the fact that they lost the war. You still rock the flag. They still rock the flag to this day. I can't fuck with that. I'm not going to get caught at no Walmart in the South with some gunman with a sheet over his face. Real shit. I'm not doing that. No way. No fucking way. So.
Not cool. It's not cool at all, because I am not having that. Not here, not now, not ever. If I see him,
Can't do it. It's too much of a northern boy. Can't do it. But yeah, the lost cause was just basically the South just pleading that case. You guys made a mistake. We weren't that bad. We weren't that bad, and I feel like you got it all wrong. Pretty much the that lost cause movement that started shaped the entire way people have looked at the Civil War. And that's not just here. I'm talking about in the South as well. They look at it as a totally different thing. They look at it as being robbed. They looked at it as being attacked, being just being, I guess I want to say, attacked for their morals. As far as being an American, you're not allowed to, they kick a lot of First Amendment thing. But again, with First Amendment, works both ways. You can't take one law from a group of people and then expect you to get all the laws back at you. It doesn't work like that. It's equal. But they don't see it like that. They haven't since then, and not even now. Not even now. They're still hunting people. They're still chasing people in cars. They went from horses to cars, Broncos to Fords. It's all the same. But welcome to Live at 5, the only show that starts at, I don't know. Well, probably doing 7:30 now.
We're going live at 5. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. 6, 5. Ooh, that's it.
So that was the vibe, right? The vibe was, let's pretend we're victims again. Even the men, mostly the men were doing this. They were the ones rewriting history. They were the ones saying that it was about pride, and it had nothing to do with us mistreat. First of all, they said it had nothing to do with slavery. It was an economic thing. It had nothing to do with us controlling slaves. And they also said the North had, when they was taking the slaves from them, it had nothing to do about slavery. What they wanted to do was just control their freedom and control the way that they live and control their rights and all this. They won't admit it. You needed us. That's it. It's simple. It's simple. But moving on. So I did a list here I wanted to get the pros and cons of segregation, integration. Me personally, I'm kind of on the fence. Like I always say, I just wish I get to pick. I want to be able to pick which white people I get to hang out with.
Really and truly, I'm just picking the lesser of the evil. I've been hearing that a lot.
I don't want to be forced. I don't want to be forced. I feel like Trevor Noah said in The Real, if you're in the elevator, people are screaming. Certain screams I'm used to, certain screams I'm not used to. I'm definitely not used to the cracker scream. Go get 'em. Whatever y'all be yelling at, I'm not into that. Definitely not into that. The go get 'em. Boy. What are you doing around here, boy? Not used to that. Never get used to that. You know what I'm talking about. Ring 'em up. Boy. Do I have any white things in here? I don't think I have any white. I should have one. I should have one white button, right? What would the white button be? I got it. Fair enough. All right. We'll work with that. We'll get a black button. No black buttons? What's that one?
The one who loves the baby best gets the baby. The one who pay the most for the baby gets the baby. The one who pay the most for the baby gets the baby. The one who pay the most for the baby gets the baby.
That wasn't it. Yikes. Okay. Back to the show. So of course, Jim Crow hit. This is after Lincoln. Again, the show is about integration, segregation, revelation. Why are so many black people starting to wonder if integration was something that we should have did? Was Martin wrong? Can't say that. But was he? Could have been. Even the what is it? Even a coin is right 2 times. Even a clock is 12 2 times a day or whatever. Even the clock strikes 12 2 times a day. Something like that. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. He could be wrong. He is a preacher. Preachers could be wrong. He wanted big things. He thought that we were going to do big things together. I I guess I could see it. I could see the vision, you know? We weren't always like this. My white brethrens. It wasn't always like this. I've hung out with you. I've had white friends. This, some are here, some are not. What are you going to do? My thing is this. You have to realize what the friendship is if you put yourself in an interracial friendship. I'm not going to get into relationship because that's a whole nother Caucasian fish to fry. I'm just talking about when you choose your company, you got to make sure they're comfortable with you and all of your tropes, I guess, all your ticks, whatever you got. They have to be comfortable with that. You can't have people hanging out with you and talking shit behind your back. That's not right. We're still separated then. You're just pretending. See, look, let me see. I had a quote here. Let me get the quote. It's so weird. Shout outs to anybody checking this out. I appreciate you. I'm gonna get Malcolm X's quote about segregation, and I'm just gonna read it, and that's it. And then we're gonna get into some other stuff that I got going on. Pretty much, he wanted us to go back to Africa, but he wanted us to also come to terms with the fact that the white man wasn't going to change. So it was kind of like, I want you to be able to live here, but I want you to be able to live here peacefully. And the way that things are going, it's not looking like that's going to happen. So here are your alternatives. You can either go back to Africa or fight back. So his thing about fighting back was just kind of like, we don't have to be in their spaces in order to be productive. We can rely on each other, and we could, we could respect them as humans, but we could just give the money back to each other, invest within. I didn't think that was a bad idea. A lot of the photos I have in that reel were just about schooling. They were really concerned for the children, for the bad looking schools. And if you ask yourself, why did the schools look the way they did? Because they were holding out the cash. They were holding out the cash. The white people were holding out the cash. What are you gonna do? They were holding out the cash. They were acting like they didn't have the money. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, we want." They're like, "We need this segregation to stop, to end, because our schools are shit." Well, clearly, tell them to put the money into the black schools. No, here we go again, waiting for Daddy. Daddy, can you please give us some money? Oh no, actually, can we get together so we can get the schools in order? Just give the money to the black schools. You don't have to come and join us. That way we could have learned about some shit. We could have learned about black shit. Could have had black teachers, more black teachers. That integration shit, it got violent in them schools. It got violent. People were attacked. People were being accused of sexual acts, children, etc. Being accused of weird shit. That only happens when you put two people afraid of each other together. No understanding classes. No one, if I'm talking about, Martin, I'm talking to you. Martin, you had this whole plan about integration, but you didn't want to do like we had to do classes. I think we had to talk to each other first. You can't just throw us in the fucking ring together as if we were gonna not, like, you didn't see the protests of people saying, "I get them niggas out of here." You saw it, but you were like, "Well, listen, it ain't gonna always be like this, and the white man will learn someday, and Someday the one brother, that wasn't it. Clearly, that wasn't it. Look what's happening. That was my best Martin Luther King. I'm not. This is not a show where I do good voices or whatever. This is not a voice show. By the way, if you looking for a person who does good voice shows or whatever, go somewhere else. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But welcome to Live at 5. Check out the background. Created by me and AI, of course. Well, hold on. We'll get it. Me and AI. This is Live at 5, the only show that starts at 7:30, but we promise to start at.
We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. It's 5. Ooh, that's it.
We're taking a bit of a break. We call this the refill. All right. Let's do a proper break. Let's be professional. Okay. I'm back. Get a refill. Quick refill. All right. Let's get into why I'm here again. The show is called Integration, Segregation, Revelation. This is to all of my brothers and sisters out there, and even some of my white people out there. If you're out there and you're wondering if this was a good idea, us getting together, and maybe we should have probably had some sort of crash course into each other before we fucking just, because it's not really working out. It's kind of, but it's definitely not working out. There's more negatives than positives. So I pretty much just want to do a little list. Well, hold on. Before I get into this, I might take a little break and I'll be back because we hit the 40-minute mark. I don't want to be all night, but it's not going to be a long one. It's going to be I'm going to say about an hour. I'll go about an hour and that's it. I see everybody in the chat. I'm going to say hi and I'm just taking a break. I'm going to be back in like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, less than that. I'll be back in a bit. And I'm gonna get into my pros and cons of integration and segregation, and I'm gonna play the joint, and I'll be back in a bit. It's gonna loop, but don't worry, it's okay.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, Segregation, Revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show. Same when the Italian knows when the Italian's shouting likes me. This guy had this problem with this. I don't know. I'm not gonna give him a shout out because he sucks. But some dude was playing this video and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck is he talking about? Why is he doing this? Why is he pretending as if we don't get along?" I was like, "Brother, we don't get along, brother.
Do you guys know this one?
Brother, we don't get along. We haven't. It's very rare. The ones that you actually with too is kind of like, you got to watch them. Not all of them, but some of them. Some of them are hanging out with you, doing wild shit. But right as soon as they go home, they take on the robe. Put on the robe. I'm just the other robe, not the house robe. You know what I'm talking about. The other robe.
Years ago, when the blacks were slaves.
Excuse me. Rude. This is 40. Listen, I'm not. This is not one of your. And I'm not here to be gross. I'm not trying to be gross. But you get gassy. It happens. Say what up to the chat again. Everyone's still here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for staying to the break. If you came after the break, if you stayed for the break, that's what's up. Shout outs to you. Because gotta take a break sometime. But let me get back into it because it's not going to be a long one, like I said. So one of the things, like I said, I made a list. I just wanted to see what was the big deal? And what was one of the things that they said that they wanted to separate. So I'm going to get into that list. Before I do that, please, if you can,
subscribe and share. It's free. If you have the internet, it's absolutely free. If you have the internet, it's free. If you put on your internet, it'd be there. Like, subscribe, and share on the internet. It's on the internet. Just put on linktointernet.com.
You heard the woman. If you have the internet, do what you got to do. All right. So one of the things was, of course, most public facilities. So, of course, the schools, the buses, the trains, the waiting areas, the restaurants. You know, I'm just saying it was all their favorite spots. They didn't want to see our faces there. That's fair enough. But you see how that went? When they do you see how they got to pick and choose? I'm trying to get in on that. I'm like, okay, reparations are coming, granted, right? Granted. But how can I get in? How can I get in on the on them picking? Now, I'm not saying bring back like coloreds only, but like, yo, what if, again, don't forget, I said pick and choose. Certain things like concerts, you can't come. If we decide that you can't come, you can't come. This is a Black Only concert. It'll make them upset. But I challenge them to their whites only concert because they're allowed to do the same thing. You are allowed to have your whites only concert. Who's going to show up? I won't know because I won't be there, but you're allowed to. You're allowed to have your own. So just take that with a grain of no salt. No salt. A grain of no salt. I'm fire today, boy. Let's get it. So yeah, most of their public spots. They was like, don't come to our restaurants, don't come to our schools, don't come to our fucking, what else they had? The restrooms, don't anywhere we drink anything, don't come. We had wine, don't come. Hospitals, healthcare. You had them, we couldn't go to the parks. They had white parks, they had white pools, they had white beaches, they had it was mostly about everything. They had mostly about everything to themselves. Kind of like they made the entire country. I said country. They made the governor. They made the entire country a golf course where we're not allowed to go. You know how they do that? I don't need. You know how they do that? They say no black. They say no blacks allowed unless you're Tiger. And I didn't think I was gonna be making a Tiger joke tonight. Reference. Tiger Woods reference tonight of all nights. Welcome to Live at 5, the only show that starts at 7 o'clock. You know, I'm not that grinded.
We're going live.
I'm not that grounded. I'm not that upset. I'm here. This was like an impromptu because, again, like I said, we watched Cicely Tyson last night. She was up there. She had the Get Out voice on. She was like, these crackers gonna learn today. That's what she was doing. That put the ET makeup on, but whatever. Good movie, straight to the point. Sad life for the woman, not a good life. She had a bad life. Lot of loss. Spoiler alert. Lot of loss for the slaves. No big W's. Not even after. Still got to fight the police. Still got to do the bullshit. Still got to play the game. Just wish that they let up. They didn't let up. They did not let up. Trying this angle. We'll see if I'll do something different. If I'm too far, I feel like I might. We'll see. But again, we're live on all 3 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Get it how you live. All right. Hospitals, healthcare. Don't fucking put your nigger blood, mix it with our blood. That's never going to happen. Movie theaters and housing. That was one of the big ones. Well, hold on. It's one of the medium ones. Theaters, womp womp. White theaters, baby, give us black theaters. We wish we could have black theaters. We wish. Could you imagine? My God. We could play whatever we want and we take all that other bullshit that be blocking up the marquee straight out of there. B movie, all that weird Jew shit, take it out. So the weird other shit we don't want, gone, bye-bye. There's no new movies out. Rerun something from Tubi. I'll put Tubi movies in the theater. They're worthy. Stop it. We could fill the marquee. Take some of that bullshit out. I'm putting that bullshit in the theater that we don't want to see. Seriously, don't even ask us. Don't even ask. Don't even ask if we want to see this shit. Putting like that hardcore Christian shit in the theater. Nobody want to see that shit. So yeah, black theater, I'm all for it. I know it'd be loud, we'd be laughing and shit, but look. We know when to be quiet. I went to go see Gladiator 2. Quiet. You want to know why? Because niggas be sleeping. So ever since they put the food in the movies, before, because we was bringing our own food, but before they was doing that, now they put the food in there, so niggas is going to sleep, which is okay. But it's not a lot of like loudness like it used to be. No. Oh, speaking of black movies, go see It's Just One of Those Days with Kiki and SZA. Woo! Great film. Phenomenal. Watched it twice. No lie. Me and our Negroes One watched it twice. I recommend you do it too. Especially if you rent it from home. Watch it twice. Fantastic. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it that black. I'm just fixing what I got going on up here. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing up here. We'll figure it out. It's growing. Hate to be bald. It's too cold to be bald. All right, back into it. So yes, hospitals, get the fuck out. Theaters, anything that entertainment, get the fuck out. Whites only, you're not allowed. Don't sit your black ass here. And then they started doing the housing, which of course meant the cattling that the Jews claim only happened to them. Dear Jews, you're not the only ones. You're not the only ones. They did the same thing. They treated us like cattle. They rounded us up. They rounded us up. They found where we lived. You pretend like it only happened to you. No disrespect. I understand. You got the big one, but this, you I don't know how many Jews are making. They're not like us. You know what I'm saying? But that's not either here or there. I'm not here to shit on the Jews.
You've got to love life to have life. And you've got to have life to love life.
I'm just letting you know you're not the only ones. Just like they got to pick which establishments they didn't want black people in, which to me seems like all of them. I don't even think would be that harsh because a lot of you niggas y'all like white people, and that's fine. I like white people too, but y'all love white people. So that but it'll never work because some of y'all you're not gonna fucking play along. You're not gonna do it right. So that's okay. This is not me giving up. Oh shit. Oh wait. Well, hold on. Let me not forget. Well, no, I'll get to the rest of the list. What time is it? We're doing all right. I'm still at entertainment. A lot of y'all are dating white women. Can't get enough of them. You love them to death. And that's fine. You're allowed to love who you're like.
You've got to love life to have.
You're allowed to love who you love. But they literally made a movie about it. It's called Get Out. That's the movie I mixed up with the movie with her voice like this. That wasn't Get Out. That was that's the one I never remember. Chauvinistic ass. It was The Family, and it was Lupita. I thought it was Nope. No, that's the one with the African guy. I don't remember the one with Lupita. I gotta Google it. God damn it. But yes, a lot of people. I'm saying a lot of the choices that they made. Oh, that's us. Us. Yes, us. They like us in an us position. They like us like this. But I don't think we would have been like that if you would have let us rock. AKA when we tried it. Tulsa, you bombed it. You wiped it out. You wiped it out. You killed it. You killed the dream. You killed it. We don't know what it would have been. You know that. You know what you did. So my thing is like, what were you afraid of? You had to be afraid of something. You probably were afraid of it getting, just being better.
Ooh, I mean, what better than this?
It's better than what you have. Better than anything you could think of. The movie theater would have been better. We're playing movies that you can't get any longer. You have so much access to our shit. What if we cut it off? You got your Hallmark movies. Y'all white movies are wildin'. Some of them are wildin'. For instance, not to get off track, but I'm still in entertainment and theater, which is part of the segregation list that they provided for us. I didn't make the list; they made the list. But there's a new movie coming out with The Weeknd, and my man, The Weeknd. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's going through it. I know a lot of his videos. He's running from his demons or whatever, but this one he's running from women again. Always some woman's trying to have sex with him to death or something. It's always something like that. These guys are on their Will Ferrell shit. If I used to listen to you, why are you doing so much weird shit now? What's happening? Did the drugs change? They changed that? Did the drugs change? Tell me if the drugs changed. Because I'm like, I don't get what you guys are doing anymore. You're not even like having fun. You're just being weird. Look at the trailer for The Weeknd's new movie. I think it's called Forever Today. I don't know. One of those little Forever Todays. I'll look it up. I set it up to do it, but I don't like putting The Weeknd in my phone. It's not my business. I'm just saying his new trailer. You're like, what is he doing now? He's running from women again, and he's got the dude that was in there that was fucking the grave, and we're like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? For Black History Month, can you stop showing me stuff like this? I don't know if he identifies as black. He looks a little Dominican to me. But Hurry Up Tomorrow. So it's like a movie and a album combination, whatever the fuck. You know how they do that. I feel like he's uncertain on what he wants to do. I feel like he's all over the place. I'm gonna take another break. Love is coming home. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put back on the ringer. And we're gonna wrap this up soon because we're at the hour. But I'll get to where I'm getting at, and I'll be right back in a bit. But after I come back from the break, I'm gonna get into the what do we got? The cons, the pros of segregation, the pros of integration. Sorry, and and I'm gonna wrap it up as far as like why some of us thought it was a good idea, some of us thought it was a bad idea. A lot of us didn't have a choice, just like the Civil War. A lot of people like to think there was a choice. A lot of people didn't have a choice. You had to fight for your country. So I'm gonna come back again. It's not gonna be a long one. I'm gonna talk about the positives of integration, why it was probably better off that we stood together because of the fact that a lot of things that when we got separated, they just disappeared. We no longer have them. Maybe we needed more time together. Solidarity. Just Black people. No intrusions of any other race. Maybe we could have got along a little better. But I'll come right back and I'll be right back.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with Black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, segregation, revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with Black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, segregation, revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with Black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, segregation, revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with Black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Like I said, this is not a long one. We're going to wrap this up. I just wanted to get into just the, I'm going to call them not so much the pros. That's a little bit ridiculous because I don't feel any pros at this point. They have to convince me. They have to show me. I literally asked a robot to give me pros and they couldn't find any pros. I had to take what the robot gave me and try to put together what they were trying to say, what could have been. Because it's not, there's really, D.O. Hewley would say there's pros because of the fact that we got good schools now and we got good offices now. Now we got good bosses now. Now we got jobs now and we also got the women's now. That's not, the robot can't tell me that. How could the robot even figure out if white jobs worked for black people? That statistic is crazy. We're just now working on, they took DEI hires and shit. They finigure the way that they want to do it, so you can't even look for it. You can't even figure out if it's actually working. But that's the game. So one of the key things that I feel the reason why they wanted to stop integration was because of our social understanding of each other. What Trevor Noah was talking about in that elevator was very clear. People of ethnicity have an ethnic code within. I don't know what they were doing in the Viking era or whatever, but you guys lost it. You don't communicate with each other. You have like a bro. You're either bro or no. You either bro with each other or you ignore each other. The white women, you're either nosy, rich, or you ignore each other. Not all, but some. You don't have like I don't know what's you guys' handshake? Do you have a handshake? Do you guys have like a function you go to like a white function besides the golf course and brunch? I don't need. They wanted to stop us understanding each other. They wanted to stop us from connecting our backgrounds with each other. They wanted to stop us from crushing stereotypes. If enough black people got together, your stereotype of us being murderers and killers goes out the window. They didn't want to see a black neighborhood with a very low murder and burglary rate. How crazy would that be? If we're the causes of this, if we live together and the rate was down, it would fucking blow their minds, right? It would just mean we weren't the reasons why all that stuff was happening. So you eliminate competition and you focus everything on fear. When you mix when they mix them, one side says they're good, one side is bad. That's how that happens. You build duality, good and evil. Integration build duality and good and evil. They separated it. They said they wasn't going to do it, but they did it anyway. And if you don't believe that, you're insane. Just go anywhere. Go anywhere as a black person and see if you don't feel something when you're surrounded by white people. As if it's over. It's never over. That's what Malcolm was trying to say. But another thing they wanted to prevent was the opportunities that could be created within black communities when you just have a black perspective. Now, it's very important. Now, if it was just black people in the media, in the commercials, just controlling every aspect of what we see, it would just be black, sort of like how Africa does it. Africa has African billboards. You see black people on their ice cream trucks, see black people on their ketchup. What if that was us? A little bit more confidence. Everyone believes that there's something. No one feels fucking obsolete. Absolute. No one feels obsolete. That's it's very important. Y'all white people, you know it. That's why you're everywhere. We can't fucking get a piece of gum without you on you're everywhere. You're selling burgers, everything from burgers to fucking God. But equal opportunity. That's for something that was happening in the black community. We don't discriminate against each other. We want to prevent that. That's what would have happened. If now I'm not talking about corrupt black mayors and corrupt black fucking senators and this and that. Those people are surrounded by white people who are telling them what to do. They control their salary. If a black person was controlling another black person's salary, they would tell them to act right. Put them in line. Because you're only hurting your own people. If it was just integration, we're only hurting each other. When you start saying, now you're hurting the Chinese, now you're hurting the Mexicans, and you're hurting the... Who do you protect if everyone's being hurt, right? I want to focus on black people for once. You take that away when you add segregation. What else we had? I'm going to get into, of course, employment, housing. One of the main things that was happening when before the integration happened, within segregation, they were proven numbers that the employment and housing went up. That makes so much sense to me. You can't have gentrification if I'm the only genter. That's easy. Next one. Stronger communities. Holy shit. Tell me about it. How many neighborhoods have you moved in and you just click to the black one? If you're black, I'm saying. White people, you do the same thing, but you know what I mean? What if it was just all like that? You don't have to worry about who's shiesty or who's doing what. We're all one, right? Stop that, they said. You want to get that out. Another thing was this shared belonging. That was my thing. Shared belonging. A lot of people struggle, black people struggle with feeling like they belong to this country because the way you guys make this shit go. You make it go as if money is God, and anyone who is not what you deem to be beautiful gets attacked on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if you fucking make music, if you act, if you're a regular just like person going to work. You guys hold black people on this fucking pedestal, and that's the same shit you did back then. As if we sassy back, we become the racists. So back then you would kill us for talking to you crazy. But now, if a black person calls out a white person, they get kicked out of Hollywood, fucking ostracized. You know what I'm saying? That's the same kind of code that you guys keep up, Jonathan Majors. It doesn't end. You can't do that if you would have let us just stick with our own. I just want to be able to pick just like you did. That's all I said. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you have your theaters, you had your nightclubs, you had all the things you said, specific things you wanted to be white only. Why can't we choose those same things? That's all. Very simple. I'm not saying you don't need to be here. Like I wasn't trying to burn you and hang you. Just certain things should be for us. And this here, that's not for you. That's not for you. That was for us. You see? Greedy. I'm going to wrap it up because it's not a long one. They said we would have had improved education. I agree with that. What did I learn from school? I'm here. Look where I'm at. I'm live at 5. I'm here trying to school you. That's how much I learned from school. I became the teacher. That means nothing. I'm re-educating myself because I felt like I wasted my time. They taught me nothing. They taught me how to wake up in the morning. Maybe how to...
We're going live.
How to present yourself. School teaches you how to present yourself as a young kid. You fucking want to feel nice. I get it. I get that type of shit. The etiquette, probably. But if it was an all-black school as a young lad, whole different vibe. No fear. Hanging out with just my own people. Feels like I'm in my own neighborhood. We should experience that once. I just once. Not now because we're all connected. I just feel like we should have been, before they decided that we had to fucking hang out with you guys, we should have gave us a little more time with each other. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say with that. We would have upheld civil rights. Duh. I don't know any black person that doesn't respect another black person who has money. Only poor black people attack poor black people. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. if we had our money. Civil rights? Huh? Neighbor, cousin. And of course, the end of prejudice and discrimination. I can't hate. You can't. I mean, you could go to Korea right now. They had this little small group of people that be like, "Oh, she's really light or dark." It's corny. It's corny. It doesn't exist. It'll be like that, where we're just calling each other light skin and dark skin all day. I can live with that. What I can't live with is looking at a TikTok of a white person that I saw recently, trying to explain to me how black colorism doesn't exist because all black people, to him, look the same. So he had he put out the brown paper bag. So we're back at that. When white people get invested in our shit that we're talking about, y'all get scary, man. You get back to your ancestors, for real. You turn back to your tea sipping, news making. Please don't go. Please don't go. That's what they was doing in that movie, by the way. They were begging the slaves to stay. Scary shit. And at the end of this list, loss of culture and identity. Something would be able to that would not happen. We do not need to look or fucking Google our history. We have to ask the AI now about our history because y'all keep lying. And it started with Britain. They took all the damage that they done. They took all the fucking jewels from all the countries that they robbed from and hid it to hide their crimes. And you guys did the same thing. You do the same thing. And that's my Trump. I don't know.
We're winning. You see what's going on.
We're on 3 platforms, live at 5. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Like and subscribe. You hit a man.
We're winning. You see what's going on. So whatever you can do to help financially would be fantastic because we have to beat it. If it's $5 or $10 or $100, whatever you can do.
You know exactly what you do when you hide history. The Jews know what the fuck happened with that when that happened. It fucked their whole shit up. They had to make 22 movies about it. We got 8 movies. Me and our Negroes too, we're constantly struggling to find movies that have something to do with just anything other than us being whipped and taught or whatever. A lot of those. You're gonna learn how to. Well, shout out to Cicely Tyson and shout out to the autobiography of Mrs. Jane Pittman. They shouldn't have just skimmed like that. But all I'm saying is this: that was part 1 of me. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this today, and the other part was, of course, as I mentioned, this shit. We ain't doing that. Back up. Just because we're together doesn't mean you have to take everything. It's not fair. We don't want your shit. You're like the bully who has shit. You have nothing that we want from you, and you antagonize us for that. We don't want to borrow your stuff. And you're like, I know that, but we're gonna keep taking yours. That's not fair. That's why a lot of people are questioning if integration was probably a bad idea. It was probably a bad idea. You didn't give us nothing for it. What did you get from us integrating? What did we get? You know what you got? You got a fucking awesome Super Bowl. You get awesome Super Bowl players. What do we get? I don't know. But that's it. That's been Live at 5, the only show that starts at 7 o'clock now. Well, no, we'll fix that. 3 platforms later to time. No. If you've been joining me, appreciate you. I see I'm going to give everybody a shout out. Shout outs to that's Mortimer. Shout outs to Mortimer again. DMT, Aya, and John Watson from Sports for You. Go check them out. I don't know, guys. I said what I had to say, and again, they made it seem as if they was doing us a favor when to this day they're the only ones benefiting from this shit. So I just need to know if a South African who have been playing in the loop is onto something, because I've been feeling this for a minute. So I'm like, well, again, could we possibly get a chance to do blacks only? I'm talking about history repeating itself in an awesome way. Now that's awesome. Now that's fucking awesome. Is it possible? That's what I want. But this has been Live at 5. The only show starts at 7 o'clock. Please love yourselves, and we'll love you right back. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm a little scared. I have a doctor's appointment. Hopefully, I'll come back with good news. If not, clearly, I won't be on streaming. You'll know if it's bad news if I'm not here. No, that's not funny. But I'll be here tomorrow, live at 5. The only show starts at 6, possibly 7. We'll do better tomorrow. And tomorrow's topic, we're not going to be talking about this. I wrapped this up. We did good tonight. I feel like I got exactly what I wanted to say. Hopefully you understood exactly what I was trying to say. I'm not trying to start a race war. I don't think all white people are bad, but I do think just like they had a choice, we deserve one too. Equality, baby, starts with an E. Everybody. All right. Thank you for checking me out. The South sucks. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. And if I'm not, you know what happened. All right. Love yourselves, and we'll love you back. Thank you. Love you. Bye. I'm going to play it out. And that's it. I'm going to play the thing again. You know, I put that together. You got goddamn, come on. You got Luther Vandross and Trevor Noah? Stop playing with me. Like you heard something like that. You ain't never heard no shit like that.
Well, the what do what to the what? Right. Speak English, sweetheart.
All right. Bye-bye.
We're going live.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? So if I'm in a room with black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question. Yes. But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe.
I'm going live at 5 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Integration, segregation, revelation. Come check me out or wish me a good show.
I found myself